You still remember that? I'm so flattered that you still remember all these small details about our relationship. I thought it was just me. I thought I was the only one who was cataloging the past, if you will. Committing all these tiny little events to memory just so I can fawn over them later. It's just so nice and validating to know that you feel the same way. Well, not as much as me, though. I mean, that's just my assumption, but it's a very confident assumption. But still, I think it speaks volumes about our compatibility that we're both so nostalgic over our little love story. Especially since I was in a relationship with you a lot sooner than you were in a relationship with me. If you catch my drift. I know we think about our past all the time, but now that we're strolling about past all these nostalgic places, it's like we're literally walking down memory lane. All the good memories just come rushing back, and they're so much more vivid and stimulating when you get to think about them. It's better than just thinking about them in passing or when you're in bed or eating lunch or whatever. I wish we could feel like this all the time. Like right here! Oh my god, right here! This tree! It's this one! I know it's this tree because it's the one that got struck by lightning 2 times and kind of looks like it has a face. If you squint right there. But yeah, this is where we first met. Oh, well, where I met you, anyway. You weren't exactly aware of our little meeting, seeing as how I was hiding in the bushes. Anyway, my cat had gone missing. I know some people might think, oh, it's just a pet, but she means a lot to me. She was my only real friend until I met you. Well, you're way more than a friend, but you know what I mean. Anyways, back to the point. I was so anxious and stressed, I was looking up and down the town for her until, lo and behold, I had found you getting her out of the tree. Now, obviously, not having her was kind of nerve-wracking for me, because I hadn't had much social experience beyond my cat. I was way too shy to get anywhere near you, hence the bushes. But to be completely honest, I am so glad that I hid there, because I got to watch you spend several hours just trying to gently coax her out of the tree. You were so patient and compassionate. To my only companion, no less. It's no wonder that moment was the moment I fell in love with you. You probably really should have gotten a ladder, though. You know, spending so much time on the cat made me think you just really like them. So because of that, God, this is so embarrassing. But that was when I bought the cat costume. You know, the ears and the tail and even the little bell. I thought maybe you'd be really into them. I even, oh God. I even practiced my little meow thing you see in anime. I had your picture, one of many in my collection, taped to the wall, and I would just look at it and rehearse lines like, "Meow, you're perfect looking today. Would you like a meow full of my cooking? I'm just positive you'll love it." I don't know how I had that many cat puns in me, and it hurts to say, but I even practiced that little gesture in front of my mirror. You know, the one where the hands imitate paws, like. When you came to my house to hand over my cat, I had to muster all the courage I had in me to do the thing. I don't know what I was thinking, but you laughed, and it really disarmed the whole situation of tension. And I was finally talking to you face to face for the very first time. I get so flushed thinking back on it now, but it's fine as long as you think it's cute. You do think it's cute, right? Okay, just checking. Good taste, by the way. Well, I mean, of course you think it's cute. I saw your expression when I wore it to your house on Halloween. For trick-or-treating? You looked like an unsupervised kid in a candy shop with their mother's credit card. Actually, fun fact, I actually visited you for trick-or-treating several times on that night. Of course, I didn't want you to know I was the same person coming back several times. You would think I was either a creep or worse, a candy addict. So I would wear a different costume each time I visited. I don't know how many trips to Party City that took. And I tried to change my voice a little too. My favorite was the Batman costume, just because it gave me an excuse to use the deep voice I hadn't used before that would otherwise have been so outlandish. And then he would usually raise some red flags, you know, like, okay, I'm Batman kind of voice. It's so bad, I know, it's bad. Oh, do you see that trash can? I know, I'm so weird pointing out a trash can, but bear with me. That was where you threw out the wrapper of your favorite candy bar. After you had left, I obviously retrieved it. I still have it back home in my collection. Ever since I found out it was your favorite, I always keep several of them in my purse for you, just in case. I'm not really a fan of them, but hey, to each their own. You can have your own interests, and I'll have mine. Except in women. Your taste in women has to be me. No exceptions. Oh, it's the cafe. Do you remember? We had our first lunch together. Well, I kind of thought of it as a date. I know we never said the word, but I could feel the vibe. Okay, maybe it was just a lunch. But still, I put a lot of effort into this. I had to do a lot of scouting of various restaurants before I could recommend a place for our little outing. I wasn't worried about the food so much as I was worried about the staff because, well, you know why. You see, I didn't want any waitresses getting the wrong idea about you just because you're polite to them. That's why I needed a place that only happened to have waiters. Maybe I should have worried more about whether the food was going to be good or not, but to be honest, any meal is good when it's had with you. I'd rather eat stale bread with you than savory steak alone. And besides, you ended up really liking the food there, right? We end up going back all the time. And I'm guessing it's not just for nostalgia. I still remember that date. Lunch. So fondly. You had asked me what my favorite song was, and I replied with "Number One Crush" by Garbage. I think it's rather poetic seeing as how it just fits our relationship so well. I think you would have looked a little shocked if you knew about the song beforehand, though. It was a good date. Lunch. Sorry. We played Truth or Dare. I already knew everything about you back then. So early in our relationship, so I only asked you for dares. I hate to admit it, but I really exploited the little situation. Daring you to do things like holding my hand or giving me a hug. No, I'm sorry for corrupting your pure heart and mind. Oh. Of course, you mainly asked me for truths, remember? You were so shocked. You asked me if I could save your life at the cost of saving a million others if I would do it. And I looked you dead in the eyes, and what did I say? I said yes. My expression was so serious and deadpan. I think it's the very first moment you thought, hey, I think she might be a Yandere. Oh, if only you knew the half of it back then. Hey, look, this is where I bought the dress. Remember? You were absolutely drooling at the dress when you saw it window shopping. Your mouth was the Niagara Falls. You stared at it for a good, 15 minutes. I timed. I think people were staring. Sorry, I can't stop laughing thinking about it. I think people were starting to stare at you, staring at it, giving you weird looks, which honestly kind of irritated me because I hate it when others look at you, no matter what. But I was stalking you at the time, so I didn't want to make a scene. But anyway, obviously you weren't going to buy it for yourself, so you passed. But later when you saw it on me, when you saw it on me, your jaw dropped. Of course, part of that was because I had just come down your chimney to give you your wiretapped Christmas present. But I like to think it was mostly how good I looked in the dress. Thanks for not pressing charges. Thanks for not pressing charges, by the way. That's the best Christmas gift I could ever ask for. Other than a marriage certificate. Standing offer. Wow. Just, wow. This is where we had our very first proper date. I remember. You even said the word date when we laid down under the moon and stars and just looked up at them. Well, you looked up at them. I tried, I really did. I wanted to make a good date after all, but your gravity was just so much more alluring than theirs. I think I only saw them as reflections in your eyes that night. Would you like to do that again? Look up at the stars here sometime? Just like old times? Okay! Just don't give them too much attention. You know how I can get so jealous.